Hi all, Denise here, DM Transformational Coach. Tonight we're going to do some tapping. Sorry, where I'm sitting is a little bit glary. I'm just trying to move. That's better. That's not going to work all night. Yeah, I can't sort of seem to quite adapt to where it work best. It's just shining on one side of my face. Sorry. If anyone can let me know that they're and see me, even though I'm a bit glary. Okay, so I'm Denise. I'm a life coach and emotional freedom technique, aka tapping practitioner. My favourite stuff to work on, which is what we usually work on every week, is confidence and happiness and giving you a sense of you can do it. So tonight I thought we'd do something a little bit different, and I have to admit that I'm slightly unorganised, and it's going to be a bit ad hoc, and we're going to just talk about some other stuff that tapping is great for, which is pain. This works probably a bit better if you've got someone, even if you're observing someone, but we'll just run through what to do if you have some pain and hey Karen, what to do if you have some pain and how to use tapping for that. So this session will probably not be as long as normal, so we'll see how we go and see what crops up. More than happy for you guys to throw some comments in there and see where we go tonight. So yeah, tonight's a bit, let's just wing it and see what happens. Okay, so tapping is kind of I mean, it's been around for a while. Just a lot of people see it as a little bit airy-fairy and weird. It's not. Basically what you're doing is you're going to tap with your fingers very gently on some meridians, generally on your upper body, while repeating phrases. It kind of just interrupts the pattern of your brain. And how you react emotionally to it. It's kind of like acupuncture or self acupressure without the needles and without, so it works with your emotional well-being. It works with, but it also works with physical stuff. So it's a really unbelievable kind of thing to do for yourself. You can also, what I tend to find with myself is that you can get to some really deep stuff and get into, you know, that deeper sort of emotional work. So for trauma and like, you know, some bad memories and phobias and all that sort of stuff, usually you'll need a practitioner to help you with that, because it's really hard going by yourself. Because what you really need to do is address, say like you've got, you know, something that's up here that's like fear of public speaking. But what's under that is like past memory, you know, something that's bad that's happened to you at some stage. Or so it's kind of just shifting that thought process that you, and subconscious thought process that you have. So that's kind of how it works. So yeah, so those of you who've made comments about cards and readings, that's not what I do. So sorry, but please stay and learn how to do some tapping because it will really help you out in lots of different ways. Okay, so I'll just point out some the points for tapping. Okay, so initially what we do is we tap, and when, like, it's just a couple of fingers. Some people use several fingers, some people use one finger. I tend to alternate between, you know, a couple of fingers and one, just depends. You can also swap sides as you're going, so you do not need to constantly be on the right or the left, so feel free to swap hands, swap sides. Doesn't make any difference whatsoever. I have a friend who likes to tap with both. Just works for her. I just do one and I swap sides as I go, just when I feel like it, really. Do not worry about trying to hit the right point, because basically you're almost intuitively going to hit the right spot on you. And if you miss it slightly, it's no big deal, you know, because hopefully you get in the other spots and it just works. What you'll find, hopefully, that those of you that have been along most weeks, please grab a pen and paper, because what I want you to do is jot things down as they come up, because what will happen is we'll be tapping away and suddenly either a memory will come up or an emotion or something. And because this is a group situation, this might not clear everything for you, but if you make a note of it, if you continue tapping on this yourself, then that should really help you out and help reduce the associated stress with whatever it is that's coming up. Okay, so tapping points are karate chop point. Then we go to, let me take my glasses off, the eyebrow. So it's where your eyebrow ends, just sort of top of your nose, edge of your eye. So just there, side of your eye. And again, you're going to just automatically tap in the spot that feels good for you. So don't stress too much, and just lightly, you know, you're not here to bruise yourself. It's just a really light, gentle tap. So sometimes I'll tap quite fast and it probably looks hard, but yeah, it's reasonably gentle. Then under your eye, so sort of like the middle, just under that bone, the socket there. So again, just tapping and again, you'll hit the right spot that's comfy for you. Then under your nose, so here. And then we call this the chin, but really it's the bit between your lip and your chin, so that little clefty bit. And then your collarbone. Collarbone, I tend to just really do the flat of my hand and the 3 or 4 fingers. Again, just where it's comfortable. Some people tap under their arms, so sort of, you can't see where your bra strap is. I generally don't, because I feel like it kind of wrecks my flow and I have to reach over. So I'm just having an itch here, so this is not a spot. So I'll skip that, but if that works for you, then, you know, if you want to add it in, feel free to add it in. And then the top of your head. And we're always finished at the top of your head, so you kind of go, you know, here, 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 here. So when we finish around, that's where we finish. Okay, let me just scroll down to see any comments. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If anyone has any questions, feel free to just pop them in as we go. And apologies that I'm blurry. I'll probably, if I sit back a bit, that's maybe a bit better. I'm not sure. Maybe. Okay, so what we do with tapping as well is really the only way to do this, to make it work, is we start with the negative, which is really counterintuitive, because as people, we want to just we want to ignore and run away and hide from the bad stuff that you don't want to think about bad stuff. So here we kind of like meet it head on, and while you're tapping, it allows your brain to rewire, to realise things are a bit safe, you're okay. Generally, the stress associated with it will reduce, and then we turn it round to the positive stuff. So, hi Donna, good to have you here. Does that make sense? Is everyone kind of getting me? Like I said, tonight's going to be a bit haphazard because this is not what I normally do in my tapping circle, but I just thought a couple of people sort of asked what else we can do, and pain is a really good one, and we all get pain at some stage. This also works really, really well if you're awake in the middle of the night and can't get to sleep, whether it's from pain or whether it's just from stress. So at the end, we'll do a little bit, because like I said, this one's going to be a shorty, because you really need to be doing this with another person. So yeah, this will be a short session. So at the end, we might just do a quick, you know, feeling overwhelmed, feeling a bit tired, let's feel good about ourselves. Just a really quick sort of pick me up one. Okay. So for any of you that have any pain at the moment, whether it's a headache, backache, neck ache, so like a physical pain, I've got a slight sore neck. It's not particularly bad, it's just a bit stiff and sore, so I've slept a bit funny. But if I touch it and sort of gently pushes on me, that hurts. So we might look at that. I also have a bit of a headache, which is probably coming from my neck. And so that's the other thing we'll do, is we'll like chase the pain. So if anyone has any pain at the moment, feel free to pop it on and we can focus on you, and we'll see how we go. And hopefully everyone's got their bit of paper. So yeah, so we'll do this really quickly, and then we'll, yeah, like I said, we'll do some nice confidence stuff. Okay, follow along. You need to just repeat after me, basically. If I go too fast, please someone let me know, because you're not working like physically with someone and I can't see you guys. It's really hard for me to judge speed, and as someone who talks quickly and tends to hurry through things, I know I have a tendency to do that. So, hi Mandy. All right. So we'll work on my, what have I got? I have got a headache. So we will work on the headache today. Probably, like I said, it's come from my shoulder and possibly from lack of water, but we'll work on that. Even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. Oh, that's the thing to do first, sorry, is if you have any pain, then jot down what level of pain it is. So 0 is no pain, 10 is intense pain, the most excruciating pain you've ever had. Okay, so jot that down. Even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, so that's our negative and just kind of reinforcing where we're going. We only do the karate chop point at the start. I have a headache. I have a headache. I've had it for a couple of hours. It's not huge, but it's there. I have this headache. I have this headache. I have this headache. I have a headache. It's not big, but it's there. And it's wearing me out. I have this headache. I have a headache. My head's aching and it's making me tired. My head's making me tired and it's just constantly in the background. It's constantly in the background. This headache. This headache. It's wearing me out, annoying me. I want it to go away, but it's still there. I have this headache. I have this headache. I have this headache. Okay. So what we do is we would now take a couple of deep breaths and have a think about, on the level of 0 to 10, where has my headache gone? I probably, to be honest, it wasn't too bad. I started out at a 6. It really hasn't shifted any less at all. In fact, it's probably the same, if not a bit more, because I've drawn attention to it. So what I would do now is probably do another round of tapping on my headache. So we'll do that, and then I'll show you how to think about it to make changes with your pain level. I have this headache. I have a headache. Makes me feel tired. Makes me feel worn out. And it's at the end of a long day, and I have a headache. I have this headache. I have this headache. My head's a bit sore. It's just there. I have a headache. I have a headache. Oh, I have a headache. I have a headache. But it's starting to ease. Starting to tune into myself. Starting to tune into my body. And listen. I'm going to listen to what my body tells me. I have a headache. I have a headache. A couple of deep breaths. Okay, how are we all going? Has anyone who actually has got some pain, how are they tracking? For me, I'm probably come down a little bit. I feel a bit more relaxed. Probably somewhere there you notice that I sighed. These are all like indications that tapping is working. So that you might sigh, you might cry, you might yawn, laugh, any sort of emotion that pops up is going to be there. When I'm dealing with pain in myself, not if I'm working with other people, but when I'm doing it myself, I tend to close my eyes. So you probably notice I have my eyes shut for a bit of this. Okay, so what I would do now if I was working with a client, I would say, hey, I want you to look inwards for a minute. And this sounds really strange, but you get answers when you ask for this. I would say, can you tell me where your headache is? And I would say it's on my left side and it goes down into my neck possibly. So, and now I'm thinking about it, it's probably even in my shoulder, my left shoulder. So it's that whole left side has come up there. So whether it started in my head or my neck or my shoulder, I don't know and I don't really care. But that's where the pain is. So I would then tap on that. This pain in my head and also my neck and shoulder. Both feeling, they're all feeling a bit sore. I don't know why. They're all a bit sore. Some pain in my neck and shoulder. And it's a little bit sore. Actually, it's a bit tense. Got some muscle tenseness. And they just feel tight and sore. Tight and sore. If I think about it, the pain is now shifting. It started in my left temple and now it's moved to the base of my neck. It's moved to my neck. The pain has moved to my neck. The pain has moved to my neck. My neck is all sore. My neck is sore. My neck is sore. My neck is sore. The pain is shifting into my neck. The pain is moving 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 into my neck. Okay, so I would take a couple of deep breaths. I would see where I'm at. Has the pain shifted again? Still a little bit here, but predominantly at this minute, I'm feeling it in my left shoulder. So what I would probably do was I would perhaps tap on my shoulder. But just to show you the process of what I would do if I was working with someone, I would ask them to think about the pain in their shoulder and where it is. And then I would say, if you had to give the pain in your shoulder a colour, what colour would it be? And this sounds really weird, but everyone comes up with a colour. It's just the way it is. I would say black for mine. Sometimes it's red. Other times I have pain, but today it's black. So I would say it's black. And then I would ask, and I would write it down. So I wrote black. Or just try to remember it if you're at home. So I would say the pain in my shoulder is black. I would then ask myself or my client, is it a solid colour? Can I see through it? Is it definite, or is it a bit blurry? Or just describe it to me. So my pain would be black. It's a ball and it is dense, so I can't see through it. Right, so that would be how I would describe my pain if I had to give it a size and a colour and what it looked like. So what you then do is you tap on that. So I would say, this pain in my shoulder, it's black. The pain in my shoulder is black, and it's a ball. It's a solid ball. It's black ball. It's black ball. I can't see through it. There's a black ball in my shoulder. There's a black ball in my shoulder. There's a black ball in my shoulder. And I can't see through it. I can't see through it. It's solid. And it's not moving. It's sitting there. It's sitting in my shoulder. 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 It's black ball. It's black ball. This black ball is sitting in my shoulder. It's sitting in my shoulder. It's sitting there. This black ball. This black ball. This black ball. And then I would think about, is it hard or it's soft? Or, yeah, see, Anna's got black. Some people it's red. And sometimes if I have a really different pain, sometimes it's red. I have worked with someone and theirs usually get black and red. But, you know, it can be any colour. Okay, so now I'm going to check in and I'm going to think about the pain in my shoulder. It hasn't really changed shape or size. It might have shrunk a little bit. And maybe it's a bit squishier. So, whereas before it was like a hard, like stone, black stone, whereas now I'd probably describe it as like a tennis ball. So it's got a little bit of give, but not much. So then I would just repeat the same thing, talking about the black ball. It's a black ball. Feels like a tennis ball. It's a bit smaller than that. It's sitting in my shoulder blade. It's just sitting there. It's black ball. It's black ball. I have this black ball of pain that's sitting in my shoulder. It's just sitting there. It's not going anywhere. Oh, see, now I'm thinking about it, I've got to do that. So that's quite fine to stop and just, you know, move, because obviously your brain is thinking and needs your body to shift a bit. So, and that's actually just shifted some stuff for me. So I'll start again. This black ball sitting in my shoulder. If I think about it, it's becoming a bit squishier and a bit smaller. It's becoming squishier and a bit smaller. It's now like a squash ball. It's like a squash ball. It's a bit squishier and it's a bit smaller. And this black pain. I have this black pain. I have this black pain. I have this black pain. This black squash ball. This black squash ball of pain. sitting in my shoulder. It's just sitting there. It's got a little bit squishier. It's got a little bit squishier. So then I would ask to do some breathing and a couple of deep breaths while tuning into my shoulder, and then just feel the need to sort of wriggle a bit, move it, and a quick sort of stretch. While I'm thinking about it, and if I ask myself, what is it looking like now? I would say that it's probably grayer now than it was before, and I'm feeling lighter across my shoulders than I was. So the pain that I had in my neck has just about gone. It's still in my shoulder, but the ball of pain is now, it's probably a grey, it's a smaller ball, it's still a squash ball, but it's really squishy now. So, yeah, so do you see what I'm doing? We try to visualise it and we focus on it, and then hopefully it should come down. What sometimes can happen is a memory will come up. It could be a memory of when you fell over and or you got stressed, particularly when it's neck and shoulder. Like often we hold a bit of tension, so it could be stress related. If that's what's come up for you, then what you need to do is tap on that memory as well. So you can sort of go with the pain. I'm just giving you a way to reduce your pain fairly quickly, but what is probably holding up that pain, particularly if you regularly get the same pain, and there's no like real physical things. So obviously if you've had a broken ankle, you know, there may be some tissue damage, but you're still going to get pain around there. So so what you tend to find is the pain will shift too. So even while I'm talking to you, if I check back in with my body, I'll find that my shoulder the pain has kind of moved from there, and it's moved down. Probably if I'm thinking about if I have pain anywhere, it's possibly my left ankle. And that is a place for me that I did actually break about 18 years ago, 18 and a half years ago, and carrying my six-week-old at the time, is now 18, down the path and slipped and fell. And so rather than fall on him, I broke my ankle. But I had a lot of soft tissue damage, and I sometimes will get pain from there, which I think, you know, then comes up to my head and whatever. Particularly if I'm standing on my feet for a really long time, that tends to play up. So while we're thinking about that, I will tap now on the pain in my ankle. So this pain in my shoulder has gone, but it's moved to it just feels really stiff and unmoving. It's just not feeling flexible. It's not feeling happy. It's pain in my ankle. It's just there. It's just there. It's not really bad. It's not really bad. If someone can just let me know that you can hear me. I tend to have, I'm in a different place than last week. It just kept disconnecting, and this week my signal, it's telling me my signal is brilliant, but it's just saying it's trying to reconnect. So anyway, I'll keep going. It's pain in my ankle. It's just a bit stiff and sore. It's just a bit stiff and sore. And I think that's what caused the pain in the rest of my body. Pain in the rest of my body. It's gone up my whole left side. And that's what's caused my neck ache. So it's the pain in my left ankle, or the stiffness in my left ankle. It's moved up into my left shoulder blade, in my neck, and my head. And that's what's causing the issue. That's what's causing the issue. That's what's causing the issue. Okay, let me just see if someone's commented. Oh, cool, you can hear me. It's Victoria. I don't know. Connect. And I have poor wireless, and it's telling me I have poor wireless connection, which I actually don't, because it's really good here, and it's saying my signal is really good. So who knows? Anyway, so that's what we would do. We would like chase the pain, so to speak, and find out where it's moving to and what colour it is and what size it is, and then just focus on that. Just keep doing that until it changes. And over time, like I said, it may pop up some memories depending on what's going on for you and what you remember about that. So yeah, just keep tapping away, and ultimately should get down to where, you know, the pain may still be there, but it's at a much easier level. My dad, who is, I don't know how old Dad is, he must be 70. A friend and I, my friend used him as a case study for her EFT practitioner work, and he was having surgery on his back because he had a lot of back and hip pain. So he was taught this going in, and then he used this while he was in hospital recovering. And it must have worked, you know, because you kind of go, someone who's 70 may be a bit sceptical, maybe not. But I remember going to visit him in hospital after his surgery, and he actually asked me, he couldn't remember the points to tap on, because he actually said that it helped him, and he just wanted to know what they were. So that's kind of an interesting thing to consider too. So this stuff does work, even if you just want to reduce your pain in the moment and you don't want to deal with what's behind it. Feel free to just tap. So you can just tap here and just go, you know, if you're on